the thought, what else was on there? The toy or the method?
Yeah. So I would write like what vibrator I was using, if any, or like what dildo. And that was interesting to see like which toy, because like as a sex toy reviewer, I have so many toys, so it was cool to be like, which ones do I actually use? And really, it's like almost always the same, like 5 to 10 ones that are just like stand the test of time.
Yeah. I would imagine like I think I would be a terrible sex toy reviewer. It's a mouthful. Because I only like 3 toys.
Yeah. And then you compare everything else to those toys and like
and of course they're all crap next to my favorite 3 toys.
Yeah.
You've got to have a really open mind.
I try. It's very hard. I'm kind of over doing sex toy reviews.
At least for shitty toys, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like, are there some toys where you're just like, no, I won't. No, I don't even want it for free.
Yeah, like I won't review toys that are not body safe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and like I don't like to review vibrators that don't have good motors because I'm like, it's just gonna feel like every other vibrator with a shitty motor. Like, why would I waste my time with this? You know?
What percentage of sex toys manufactured do you think are just garbage?
Oh, it's got to be at least 95%.
Yeah. Do you honestly think that high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, because like the big companies that make the shitty stuff are making more than any other companies.
They're just pumping them out. Yeah. They're not being tested, product tested.
Yeah, there are so few companies who make really good stuff, and it's tends to be all the like luxury higher end stuff, which hopefully will be less true in the coming years. Like hopefully there'll be more accessible price points for better toys. Yeah, because it sucks to be like you could get a shitty toy or you could get something great, but it's going to be like 4 or 5 times the price. Like it's really discouraging for folks. So,
yeah, there's got to be entry level toys.
Yeah,
and there's got to be good entry level toys.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many people I'm sure that don't have a lot of money and buy that under $50 or under $30 vibrator.
Yeah.
And they're just like, great, I hate sex toys. Garbage. Like,
yeah.
Or even buy 5 toys that are, under 50. And like odds are like by the like percentage we were talking about, they could easily buy 5 pieces of crap and just be like, great, so I hate vibrators.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I when I used to work sex toy retail, I used to like put one vibe in each hand of a person and be like, you feel how this one's really buzzy and numbing and this one's really rumbly and like the vibrations penetrate into your flesh more and like that's so much better. And like a lot of people don't know the difference between those two things, and like when you show them, then they get it. But,
they have to be shown it. Yeah, because if you're like, if you say to somebody, this one's more rumbly, this one's more buzzy, that to a lot of people that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is like the frequency of the vibration.
Yeah. And that's like such basic info, but like people are not taught how to shop for sex toys.
No.
So they do end up buying shitty stuff. And
people are taught nothing about sex toys.
Yeah.
They think that they're buying a thing in a store and that means it's not going to harm you and be the worst piece of garbage ever.
And then they get chemical burns.
But that is untrue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is, I'm maybe thinking of this is because I was just listening to your episode on this, literally on the way over. But people just aren't, there's no conversation about it in the public kind of consciousness.
Yeah.
So they just don't know. They're just buying crap, or they're buying the overhyped toys.
Yeah. Right. We just did an episode about overrated sex toys.
Yeah.
Because we had just tried the new Cowgirl, which is like a ripoff of the Sibian. So we wanted to talk about toys that we think are overhyped. And there's a lot of them because people don't want to talk about it. And like I think that's why sex toy reviewers are doing really important work, not to toot my own horn excessively, but there's a lot of us, and I think it is really important because like you should be able to do research on a thing you're thinking about buying and read what people thought of it and get honest opinions on it.
Of course, especially if you're spending a lot of money on it, then like and you the thing with sex toys is that you can't try it and then not like it and return it.
Yeah.
So you could be spending a lot of money on something that's doing absolutely nothing for you. What do you think about like sex toys are obviously going to work differently for every body, right? So how do you account for that when you're doing like a review? Because that's a toy, say you're giving a great review to it, that's a toy that works with your body and that you enjoy and hits all these things for you that are important to you as an individual.
Yeah.
How does that... Couldn't someone read that and be like, that's a great toy and I'm buying it? And it's like, well...
Yeah. Well,
it worked for me.
I try to be really transparent about my own body and my own preferences so that people can find me. And if they think that our bodies have things in common, then maybe my recommendations will be more useful to them. So I talk about how like I really like A-spot stimulation, which means I like really deep penetration, or like I tend to like rumbly vibrations externally. My friend Lily from dangerouslily.com actually has this like sex toy reviewer directory where people fill out stuff about their preferences, like how strong of vibrations they tend to need and what kind of penetration they tend to like. So you can like find someone whose body matches yours.
Recommend a reviewer that likes the similar toys that you would like. That's fucking genius.
I know.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Because for me, another reason I would be so shitty at sex toy reviewing is because I like very specific things, and so many other things I'm just like, no, thank you. Like I like a very, specific type of stimulation.
Yeah.
So it's like so many, most of the sex toys out there will be a type of stimulation I'm just not into. So it's kind of interesting that dangerouslily.com do say.
Yeah.
And what's cool about Lily is that she gets all sciencey about the about what's safe for you and what's not, and she has a couple like experiments in jars happening.
Yeah, because it's really gross. Because like if you put toxic toys in like a jar together or something, they eventually will like melt together, which you don't want that happening because that means that they're like off gassing in your body when you're using them. There are all these like known side effects health wise of using toys that have phthalates in them.
Yeah, straight up, what are the side effects? What can happen to us over time if we're using a really shitty toy over time?
It's mainly they contain endocrine disruptors, so they mess with your reproductive system and your hormones, which can have a lot of effects, including stuff like infertility eventually.
Wow.
Yeah. But then like also the short-term effects are most of these toys are made of PVC, which means that they contain chlorine, so they can cause like skin irritation and chemical burns, and you don't want to get chlorine inside your orifices. So like
that's the last place you want chlorine.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I just like researched a story on this like a few months ago and talked to a bunch of chemists and everything, and they told me PVC always has chlorine in it. That's what the C stands for. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Like nobody knows this. Like nobody talks about this.
Yeah. Damn, my PVC doctor outfit.
I mean, I think it's okay externally, maybe. If you had like very sensitive skin, then I wouldn't recommend it. But like definitely you don't want to be sticking that stuff inside yourself.
I won't roll it up and use that until my doctor lab jacket.
Doesn't seem like it would feel good. There are better things you could use.
But I want to use this. So weird. Because like, I mean, there's a lot of conversation, thankfully, that's happening kind of nowadays about toys being body safe for you. Like one of the reasons that Red Tent Sisters no longer has a storefront is because they're like, at the time, 10 to like 12 years ago, there weren't any body safe products like in stores really. Like it was very select stores.
Yeah, there would be like Tantus and like Happy Valley. There would be like a few
a few, but they're like, and we didn't sell anything that wasn't completely body safe and like, totally vetted for you. And they're like, one of the reasons we don't have the storefront anymore is because those are now readily available in a lot of different stores, even just like here in Toronto. Yeah. Which is great. A good thing that that's becoming kind of more, people are becoming more aware of it. Yeah. But I forgot where I was going with this.
You still have to know what you're looking for when you go into a store, though, because like you can't necessarily trust that like the salespeople at a particular store are going to know their stuff with regards to body safety, or even if they do, they might try to sell you something that's not great for you. Yeah. So you kind of have to do your research ahead of time. Yeah. Which is annoying, but I mean, it's good that.
But you're also putting it in yourself, and there could be. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the thing I was going to say was like that people may not realize what using a toy that is not body safe for you actually might do to you.
So many things.
Yeah.
So many awful things.
Because just the concept of body safe or not body safe, they're like, okay, well, I need to get the cheaper one, so I'm going to get that. But some people don't actually think that like it could give you cancer. It could make you infertile. Like serious shit.
Yeah. And like not even just the material stuff, but like even poorly designed toys can be really bad. Like butt plugs without a proper base. Like there's a butt plug in the 50 Shades of Grey official collection where the base is like so flimsy. I was like, I'm gonna end up in an emergency room if I use this.
I thought you were gonna say when you're like, there's a butt plug. There's a butt plug somewhere inside me that I've just never. It's still in there.
It's just a part of me now. This is my life. It happens though.
Oh yeah, it happens.
And that's not good for you.
No, speaking of Red Tent Sisters, she's like one of the first things I ever tried putting in my butt got stuck, and like I had to spend like a good couple hours in the washroom trying to like fucking bear down and get it out of there. That's serious. That's really bad.
Yeah, I once got a glass egg stuck in my vagina. What a sentence. It was honestly, it was one of the low points of my sex toy reviewing career. I was so scared.
The thing with vaginal, though, it'll come out eventually because gravity, right?
But I was panicking. I was like, what if it never comes out?
Oh, yeah.
It was so far up there.
Oh, no. So what did you do? Did you squat it out? Like get in the tub and squat?
It's like I had my partner at the time try to help me get it out, and he just kind of like pushed it deeper by accident.
Oh shit.
Eventually I kind of like laid on my stomach with like one leg folded up underneath me, and it kind of like slid out after a certain amount of time. But the thing I thought was so funny was that like my partner who was helping me with this the whole time, he was hard like the entire time. And I was like, are you getting turned on because I'm distressed? I'm having a panic attack. Is this fun for you? And he was
literally dying right now.
He was like, I'm touching your vag. Like, what do you want? I was a little miffed about that.
That's really funny.
I know you couldn't control it.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm just so hot. Like, obviously.
My vagina is just... Oh, God. Have we even said that your name is Girly Juice?
My name is Kate Sloan. My blog is Girly Juice.
Actually, my name is Kate. Thank you for asking. Why don't you, we're getting about at time, why don't you tell people where, what, who, how,
all the stuff.
All your things.
There's so many things. Okay, so I've had this sex blog called Girly Juice. It's at girlyjuice.net. I write about sex, kink, relationships, fashion, beauty, mental health, a whole bunch of different things. I also am a journalist by trade, so all of the rest of my writing is at katewritesaboutsex.com. And I have a podcast called The Dildorks, which is at thedildorks.com, and you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, all those places. That's probably it.
That's
probably good. Yeah.
You're on all the usual platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter for rants about my genitals and also updates on what I'm doing. I am girly_juice.
Amazing. And everyone, this has been Kate Sloan.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And I'm Erin Pym, and this has been the Bedpost Podcast. Check back weekly, everybody, because we release a new episode every Friday. And if you want to rate and review the podcast on iTunes while you're there, I love you forever. If you're in Toronto and want to see the Bedpost Sex Show, the Variety Stage Show runs at the Social Capital Theatre the third Friday of every month at 8 and on the last Tuesday of every month at 9 at the Super Wonder Gallery. For more info on everything Bedpost, you can follow us on social media or give us a click to the website. That's what I meant to say. Bedpost.ca. If you want to shoot me an email, you can do so at thebedpostsexshow@gmail.com. And wrapping up here, I want to give a big shout out to Eggplant Media and the folks at the Pacific Junction for making our YouTube content possible. Hooray! And lastly, the Bedpost Podcast features original music by Steph Copeland, who can be reached at her website, stephcopelandmusic.com. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.